going to go over the intermediate level classical mat Pilates today. We've already done the beginner level, so we're going to basically just go over the exercises that are in the intermediate level only. And you can go back to the breakdown for the basic for more detailed information on that. So first, we're going to break down the exercises and kind of go a little bit slower. And then at the end, we'll try to put all of them together into a little quicker flow. So just remember to take it nice and easy, and there's a lot more spine work in the intermediate level. So avoid anything that makes your lower back hurt. All right, so let's just go ahead and we're going to begin with the single straight leg, which we're going to just go ahead and put back into the beginner. So we're going to lie down on the back and go into a flat back position. Okay, so this is our scoop or our flat back position. And let's take the right leg straight up towards the ceiling and hold it for just a little bit, just to stretch out the hamstring a little bit. And then extend the other leg flat on the floor. You can flex the feet to give you a little bit more of a calf stretch. And let's roll the head and the shoulders up. Now remember that a crunch is not just picking up the head, okay? A crunch is a rolling up of the upper spine. Now watch the shoulders. We don't want to hike the shoulders up and take the other leg off the mat. So stay here, give it a nice little stretch. Then nice and slowly switch the legs. So first just go kind of slow and pull. And switch legs, and again go a little slower. You're going to do a double pull now. So it's going to be a 1, 2, and then switch. 1, 2, and switch. 1, 2. So go slowly at first, and just make sure that you're not rocking the hips or the head or the spine. So really the only thing that we want to do is move the legs. That's it. Everything else stays nice and still. Now the numbers will vary in the classical. There are some exercises that have 3 repetitions, 6 repetitions. We're just going to do 10 of everything just to keep it easy. And breathe. And breathe. So remember, strong exhalations on everything. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. So this is the single straight leg stretch. And we're going to go on to the double, both legs up. Now again, we're going to break down the movements and start at kind of like an easier version and then work our way up to the actual exercise. So we'll stay in Pilates feet if your legs are straight. That's the external rotation. If your legs are not straight, you can stay right here. Now you can also place the hands underneath the tailbone. It's very important when you do the double straight leg that the back stays flat. So we do not want for the back to roll off the mat, or the hips to swing, or the spine to move, right? So everything is very, very still. So you can select your level. Again, you can come up in a crunch position, or you can keep the head down. And you make the movement however small it needs to be in order to stabilize the spine and the hips. So we inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. So you can do this. This is kind of like a little easier. You're doing a crunch and you can keep the legs slightly bent if you have tight hamstrings. Or the final version, and you can actually take the hands out and the legs are nice and long. So you inhale down, exhale up, and try not to arch or tense the neck. So the rest of the body, very still. You should not really be able to tell that anything is happening in the lower body. So we'll do 5 more. You can do it in crunch or flat back, and 4, and 3. Exhale on the way up, and let's go ahead and release. So we'll break down the crisscrosses first. You cross the right ankle over the left thigh, place the left hand behind the head. Now when we come across, when we do an across crunch, try not to pull on the head and pull the elbow all the way over. Keep your elbow all the way back and open, and think of pulling the shoulder towards this knee. So we don't pull on the neck and pull the elbow. We use the obliques to bring the shoulder across and up and down. Now at the same time, you keep the scoop, and you do not arch the back every time you come down and flatten the back every time you come up. So you stay in a scoop the entire time, and you just bring the ribcage across. You exhale, inhale down. The legs and the hips don't move. And again, exhale up, Inhale down. So we do a few more just like this. So this is just a very basic crossover crunch. And then let's go ahead and go to the other side. So remember, always stability in the pelvis and in the lower back and in the spine. You place the right hand behind the head. Elbow stays back. So do not pull the head and pull the elbow across. Keep the elbow open and just bring the rib cage across. Exhale as you're coming up. Inhale as you release with a nice flat back. Exhale up and across. Inhale down. Strong breath, keeping the top. Good, let's just do one more and release. So now we bring the knees into the chest, keep your back nice and flat. Pelvis is scooped, belly in. And let's bring the right hand behind the head. And again, exhale, come across. Inhale, release. And across and release. Now let's put both hands behind the head and twist from the rib cage only. So it's a curl and a twist. And we'll do a few more on this side. Let's just do 2 more. Exhale as you come up. Let's go to the other side. Lead with the shoulder and the rib cage, the elbows to the back, and the hips and the legs don't move. We'll do 3 more here. And 2. And 1. Okay, so now let's go ahead and extend your left leg. Come up in a crunch. Stay here. And slowly come across to the right. Come to center. Switch the legs. Slowly. Go over to the other side. Switch the legs slowly. And remember to stabilize the pelvis, and you can kind of pick up and do the twist and the switch in the legs at the same time. And breathe. So remember, we don't want arching and rocking of the hips, and there's really not a lot of shaking anywhere, right? So the shoulders also don't go down in the center. Okay, you stay up and crunch the whole time, and you just twist. You just twist. There's no down and up. And we'll do that a few more times. So these are the crisscrosses. And breathe. And let's go ahead and release. Bring the knees into the chest, and let's roll up to a sitting position. So these will go into the abdominal series, which is in the basic mat Pilates. Take a little forward bend. Okay, and let's go ahead and add on to that. So we're going to bend at the legs. Hold on to the back of the knees. Take a little forward bend here. Relax the neck and the shoulders. And let's prepare for the open leg rocker. So we keep in kind of a neutral pelvis. We don't want to have a big arch here. We don't want to be totally rounded. We're kind of in neutral and very lifted. So we're going to break this down. We're going to do it from the top and then from the bottom of the floor, the open leg rocker. So let's go ahead and bend the knees and come up onto the toes. Pull your lower abdominals in nice and strong. Relax the shoulders. So as we break this down, remember to master each level before you go on to the next one. And you don't want to feel anything in the lower back. Let's go ahead and pick up the feet. The legs are slightly open, so you have like a V in the knees. Keep the abs nice and strong. So we start by holding on to the knees, extend the right leg, and bend, and then go to the left. So when you're doing this, you try not to let the knee drop down. So you extend only as much as you can without releasing, letting the thigh move. And extend, and switch. And switch. Good. So now if these are easy, you extend and hold. And then extend the other leg and hold. And let's go ahead and release. So that's kind of like a beginner-ish level. And let's go on ahead and make this a little bit more challenging. I'm going to hold on to the ankle. So again, you begin by picking up the feet. Hold your abs in nice and strong. And extend one leg at a time. Extend, big stretch here, and come back in. And left leg. And again, right. And again, left. Now extend the right leg out and hold. And let's go ahead and extend the left leg out and hold. And try to stay as straight and as tall as possible. Now, stay here. Scoop the pelvis. And come back up. So once you master this, it'll be a little easier to do the open leg rocker. And then come back up. So here we tilt, we scoop and roll, and back in. And let's go ahead and release. And we'll practice this from the bottom now. So we take the legs up, the back is nice and flat, hold on to the ankles, and the legs are slightly open, just on the outside of the hips. And let's first curl up and let the legs go forward. Keep the shoulders soft. And then come back down. So when you come down, it's okay if the hips roll up a little bit. But when you come up, try not to use your legs to pull you up, but use your abdominals to roll you up and let the legs move forward. So right now, you should be feeling your abdominals working and then slowly back down. And then again, exhale as you come up and down. And now we're going to go ahead and begin a little bit more of a rocking. And this is the rocker part of the open leg rocker. And you work your way up to whatever level you can do this movement with control. So we tuck, roll down, and up into a neutral. And tuck, roll down, and up in neutral. And let's just do one more. And up, hold. Bring your legs together. Legs down, and let's do a little forward bend here. So remember, forward bends come from the rib cage, right? Fold over the legs, relax the neck, relax the shoulders, stretch forward. And let's go ahead and slowly roll back down. We'll break down the corkscrew. So basically for the corkscrews, your legs are gonna stay together. They're gonna circle in one direction, and they're gonna circle the other direction. And a more advanced version, you circle, you roll the hips and the spine up and back, come back down, circle the other way. So we'll break that down a little bit. Let's bring the legs straight up, hands down by your side. So we'll keep the movement really small for now, and we're gonna stabilize the hips. So keep the legs in rotation if they're straight, and in parallel with a slight bend if they're not. So we're just gonna start with a side-to-side tick-tock movement. So we're keeping it real small for now, and we're not gonna let the hips roll off for now. So for now, the movement is very small, just the legs kind of go over, and just notice how the abdominals have to work to keep the hips down. Very small. So if you're comfortable with this movement, you can go ahead and let the hips roll up just a little bit, but keep the movement controlled. So we inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And we're going to turn these into small circles now. We start by keeping the pelvis still, so to not allow the hips to roll off. So we circle in one direction, real small, circle in the other direction, really, really small. And then you can make it a little bigger. The hip can roll off here, center hold. You go over the other side, and the hip can roll off a little bit here, and hold. But make sure the back stays flat when the legs are in the down position. So now we inhale, down, exhale up. Inhale out and down, exhale up, and hold. So option, now we can add the reverse curl. So we start real small. The reverse curl is when the hips and the spine come up. So now you can do this real small, or you can make it big, and this is the plow, basically, from yoga, where the legs go all the way over and slowly roll down. So you find your level, either just real small or full, and just make sure that it's the abdominals that are doing the work. Also, please be careful not to turn your head when the legs are in the overhead position, and skip this if it hurts your lower back. So let's put that whole thing together for the corkscrews. So we'll start small, kind of an easier corkscrew. You circle over to the right, center, do a small reverse curl, down to center, anchor the pelvis before you go. So this is a very safe way of doing it, right? You do anchor the pelvis, you do the reverse curl, down all the way, circle the other way. And if this is really comfortable, you can make it a little bigger. You go a little bigger, the hip can roll up a little bit, you come to center, and you go directly over and down. And you go over to the right, center, and up and over, and down. Exhale here. And continue. Big circles. So this is your corkscrew. Over and hold. Inhale here. Exhale, roll down. Release the legs. Roll up. Let's do another forward bend here. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Big stretch. And come on up and let's prepare for the saw. So the legs are going to open about mat width apart. So the saw is a combination of the staff pose where we keep the spine and the legs nice and straight and the spine twist. So it's important, once again, to make sure that you stabilize the hips when you're doing the twisting. So when we do the twist, if your feet and legs are moving, it means your hips are moving, which means your abdominals are not stabilizing the hips. So for now, let's just keep the hands, you can keep them here down by your side, and just twist small. And look at the legs, make sure the legs are not moving, and you can even keep the hands on the hips to make sure the hips are not moving. And once that's happening, you can go ahead, bring the arms out to the side, and do the spine twist. So the spine twist is in the rib cage only. Rib cage only. So everything below the rib cage is stabilized. Now we're going to go ahead and add on the reach. So when we reach, we don't want the opposite hip to come up. So you twist and you keep that hip grounded and centered. So twist and reach. So we're still stabilizing the pelvis. Twist and reach. So we inhale here, exhale, reach. Inhale up and center, exhale, reach. Inhale, center, exhale, and reach. Good. And let's go ahead and hold this one here. Let's just do a little stretch. Keep the opposite hip dropped, shoulders nice and soft, and straighten your spine as much as you can. Keep breathing, and center, and hold the stretch on the other side. And let's go ahead and release. So we're going to break down the swan now. We're going to turn over onto the stomach. And let's come all the way down. And bring the hands next to your chest. So the legs are together and the pelvis is tucked, right? So we try to minimize the arch of the lower back. If we don't tuck the pelvis, there's too much arch here, and all of this work will be moving into your lower back, and we don't want that. So we're nice and tucked, and the abs are in, hands are right here, elbows squeeze in and down towards the shoulder, the feet. So right away, you should be feeling the muscles in your back activating, your lats. And we'll break it down and start nice and easy. So keeping the shoulders dropped and the abs in, we lift and we lower. And there's different ways to break this down. And this is just one way. So we inhale and exhale. And inhale. So we're going to add on to that. We inhale, you come down, extend the arms overhead, you bring the hands back in, and lift. Down, extend, bend, and lift. Good, and again. And now we can add on. So once you have this down pat and comfortable, you can add a little momentum to it. The legs are going to lift up, okay? So we come down, extend the arms, lift the legs, and back in. So we have one more breakdown. So down, extend the arms, lift the legs, and come back in. And down, extend arms, lift legs, come back in. And now you add the momentum. You come down quickly, and you lift the arms and legs at the same time. So up, and then down, lift, and up. Good. Down, lift, and up. So inhale, and exhale. And breathe. Keep it out of the lower back in one arm. And lift. And let's take a little stretch. Keep breathing. And let's continue. Continue to stay on the stomach for the single leg kicks. So we put the elbows down right underneath the shoulders, and we're and open across the chest and wide across the shoulder blades and shoulder blades down. So we're not sinking. We're not here. We're here with the pelvis slightly tucked. So for the single leg kicks, as with everything else, we want to look for stability in the rest of the body. So what's going to be moving, we'll break it down nice and slowly. We'll just do a single kick on each leg. And you want to watch for moving, like snapping, and moving of the spine. You don't want the spine to be rocking. So the tilt, the tuck in the abdominals are going to keep the spine from moving. Now when we're moving slowly, that's not really a problem. It's when we start to move a little quicker, a little stronger. So what we're going to do now is do the double kick. It's going to be a 1, 2, and we're going slowly for now. 1, 2. Now you may cramp up in the hamstring, some of you may cramp up, so start slowly. And now we're going to do a point and a flex. And a point and a flex. Point, flex, and as you get comfortable, you pick up the tempo, and when we go a little quicker is when the body really wants to move, okay? So this is where the abdominals stabilize the pelvis, and the back also, if the back isn't working, point, flex, if the back isn't working, the spine will move too much. So these are your single leg kicks, and if you do them correctly, you'll feel the abdominals, and you'll feel some hamstring work as well. Let's do one more on the left, and let's go ahead and release. Going on to the double leg kicks, lie all the way down. Place the hands on your lower back, and notice, just try to notice which palm is on top. Let the elbows fall. So you're feeling a nice stretch in the shoulders here. You can bring the hands up a little more, you take more stretch. And just like before, pelvis is tucked. So any work that's being done on the stomach, the tucking of the pelvis becomes very, very important because it's really, really easy to move the work into the lower back, which we don't want. So the pelvis is tucked, and we do the kicks. We bring the legs, we bend both legs. Let's break it down slowly. 1, and release. Now here, the hips want to lift, and there wants to be a space here. And the work is going to be in keeping that space out. And we keep the feet pointed, and we keep the tuck. Now if you feel this in your knees, you can separate the knees a little bit. You don't want to feel this in the knees. So pelvis is tucked, shoulders are relaxed. And now let's do double kick. 1, 2. So again, bringing a double kick in creates it harder to stabilize. It makes it harder to stabilize. 1, 2, and point, flex. Good. Point, flex. Okay, so now we're going to add on to that. So we do the kicks. 1, 2, and now the legs come down. The pelvis stays tucked. You engage your abdominals, and you lift, and you stretch the arms. Then the head turns the other way. Elbows drop. Kick, kick. Release the legs. Inhale, lift, and down. Kick, kick. Lift, and down. Kick, kick, and lift, and down, and hold, and now we switch the palms. Put the other hand on top, and pump, pump, and lift. And 1, 2, and lift. And 1, 2, and lift. And one more. 1, 2, lift, and release. Sit back and stretch, although you should not be feeling anything in your lower back. Okay, so let's break down the neck pull. So again, we'll do it from the top, we'll do it from the bottom, and then hopefully they'll meet somewhere in the middle. So let's place the hands behind the head and fold over the legs. Now remember, forward bending is not a rounding of the upper spine. We lead with the chest and we hinge forward. Take a nice stretch here, relax the shoulders, and then sit up nice and straight. And fold over the legs. And roll up to an upright position. And lead with the chest, fold over the legs, roll up. Let's do one more like that. Hinge, and roll up. So let's add on the flat back hinge. So when we do flat back hinge, the pelvis is slightly tucked to protect the lower back, but the rest of the spine stays very, very straight. So it looks like this, right? So imagine a stick for a spine, and back, and forward. So nothing in the lower back, lots of work through here. Inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward, and hold, and now fold over the legs. Roll up to an upright position, hinge, and fold over the legs. Roll up, hinge, and fold. One more. Up and hold, hinge and hold, and now here, tuck, roll as far down as you can without falling. Let's just go halfway for now, and then roll forward. So we roll up, hinge, tuck, roll down only about halfway, roll back up, and fold over the legs. Roll up, hinge, tuck, roll down about halfway, roll up to upright, then fold over the legs. Roll up, hinge, tuck, and you can go ahead all the way down. So now we practice it from the bottom. Hands behind the head. Now this is a little bit harder than a regular roll up because the hands are up here, which makes it a little more difficult to roll up. So keep the hands behind the head, pelvis is tucked. Now we do not want to pull on the head and kind of like jerk up. We don't want to do that. So you roll up only as far as you can without having to yank yourself up. So if that means halfway, then that's how high up you go. And it will eventually, you'll eventually work your way to coming all the way up. So up, 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 and down. And just try to keep the pelvis as scooped as you can when you're in the down position. Exhale up, and exhale up, and rest. So for the neck, the full neck pull, eventually, when you're able to roll all the way out without having to swing, you keep the hands behind the head. We put all of that together. We roll up, fold over the legs, sit up nice and tall, scoop, whoops, all the way up, hinge, scoop, roll down, all the way down. So you roll up, fold over the legs, roll up, hinge, scoop, and down. Roll up, hinge over forward over the leg, roll up, hinge back, scoop, roll down. So roll up, hinge, roll up, hinge, roll down. And again, roll up, hinge, roll up, hinge, roll down, and hold. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll back up to a sitting position. Take a little forward bend again. And we'll do the side body. Now, here you can do, there's all kinds of variations. We'll do something that targets the obliques a little bit more. But like I said, depending on what style you do, you may find different varieties for the side work here, for the side kicks. So we can lie all the way down and try to stack your hips. So when you're looking down over your body, you want to make sure the hip doesn't roll forward or doesn't roll back, and that your heels are lined up with one another. Sometimes the heels don't line up, so you want to really reach out of the top heel so that the heels are stacked. So now the work is going to be, and of course using your abdominals to stabilize the hips. These hands will be here, the hand will be here just to stabilize a little bit more because the body doesn't want to roll. So use mostly your abdominals and some of your arms. So actively press to the feet, and we go ahead and we start with the top leg. So you're going to lift up only about hip height and come back down. So try not to get distracted by the leg work, because really we want this to be working. Not so much, you may feel work in the hip and groin area, but we really want the obliques to be working. So we lift up and down and up and down. Now lift and hold this leg up here and take the bottom leg to meet it, and the bottom leg comes down, up and down. So we're just going to do a few reps for now until we do the whole series. We just do 2 more. Then lift the leg and hold. Now you're trying to get your knees to touch rather than just your feet. And then bring both legs down. So you lift the top leg, you lift the bottom leg, and then they both come down. So try to think in terms of lifting your knee rather than just your foot. And up, and release. So it's the top, bottom, and release. We'll do one more just like that. And now both legs, double leg lift, up and down, and up and down, up and down. A few more times. Then lift and hold. Maybe you come up into a crunch and hold. Feel the obliques working. Relax the shoulder. And let's go ahead and release. And we'll do that on the other side. So you may find that one side feels different than the other. Lie all the way down. So maybe this side you need to reach out a little bit more to get your heels to touch. And hold your abdominals in nice and strong. And we start with the top leg only, up and down. And just keep the hips nice and still. And we add on, lift at the top, lift to the bottom leg, up and down. And try to get your knees to touch. And then lift and hold. And let's do both legs down. So now the top leg lifts, the bottom leg, and then they both come down. And top, and bottom, and release. Top, bottom, release. Top, bottom, release. Top, bottom, and let's do the double leg lift. So double leg lifts. So stabilize the hips. They want to roll a lot. And just hold the abs in to keep them together. And lift and hold. Come up into a little crunch. Feel the obliques a little bit more. And let's go ahead and release. Okay, so we'll practice the teaser. So again, we'll start from the top. We'll work it from the bottom. And then hopefully the two of them will meet. So let's do a little forward bend first. Big, big stretch. Okay. Again, different ways of breaking down this movement too. This is just one way. And just kind of like in the open leg rocker, you're in a neutral position, maybe a little tough. And let's go ahead and keep the knees together on this one. Pick up your feet. Let's stay here. Shoulders are soft, abdominals are in. And if this feels comfortable, let go. Hold. Good. Now we're going to hold on to the back of the knees again. Extend the legs. Let's lift the chest a little more. And if this feels comfortable, let go. And let's release, take a little rest. So now we'll start the rolling down part of it. So you come back to the same position. You can start with the legs bent. Scoop the pelvis. Roll down as far as you can without falling. And come back up. And again, down, and back up. You can straighten the legs, and up. You can let go, and up. And let's release the legs and roll all the way down, and we'll work it from the bottom. So the pelvis is tucked. Again, different ways of breaking it down. Let's keep the feet together, knees together. Keep your knees touching. Extend your right leg. Hold on to the back of the legs. And you can use the arms to help you. Right? You can use them to help you. And then down. Or not. And down. So we do that a few times on the right leg. And let's do that a few times on the left leg. You can hold on to the back of the leg and use the arms to help you. Or not. And down. All right. So let's go ahead and extend the arms overhead. This is another way of coming up. Bring the knees into the chest. Take a nice deep breath in. And you're basically trying to come up into a V position. So the back is nice and flat. As the arms come forward, you can let the legs pull you up. And you can bend the knees as you're coming down. back face flat. Exhale, up, extend the legs, let the weight of the legs help you. And then down. Good. Now you can maybe try it without holding onto the legs, right? So we extend the arms overhead and come up and scoop and down. And come up. Now you can keep the legs straight, keeping them up towards the ceiling for now. Inhale, exhale, up, let the legs come down, and down. And again, up, and down. And now we can go on ahead and try the final version. Release the legs all the way down, arms reach overhead, pelvis is scooped. Okay, to try to avoid, well, do not swing the legs and do not swing the arms. So do this really, really smoothly and controlled. So let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, the arms begin to come forward. And then as you start to roll up, bring the legs up. Sit tall at the top. And then the legs come down, you scoop. You scoop. And you release down. Inhale, back face flat. Exhale up. Inhale down, scoop, roll the legs down, roll the spine down. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up and hold, and release. Okay, so hopefully you didn't feel that in your lower back. Let's take a nice forward bend. Keep the back nice and flat. And we'll finish off with the seal. So this is the seal. Sometimes people think it's a little silly. There's a lot going on. There's some movement. There's some heel tapping going on. So just do your best. Let's just break it down and work with the balance. So we're going to bring the arms on the inside of the knees and wrap the hands towards the outside so you can hold on to the ankles. And let's just balance. So you can keep the toes on the floor for now. And we try to lift the feet up. And pull the abdominals in and just try to hold the balance. Once you have the balance down, you do a little tuck, and then you come back up. A little tuck. So this is similar to rolling like a ball from basic, which we're going to also do again today. But it's going to be a little more difficult because of the position of the legs and the tapping. Now let's stay here. And this is the seal part, where you do a little tap, so you tap the legs 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You scoop, roll down, you tap. 1, 2, 3. And you come up. 1, 2, 3. And down. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. So the feet stay off the mat at the top, and the head stays off the mat at the bottom. And let's go ahead and release. So that was all the exercises for the intermediate. And we'll put them all together into the basic, and we'll do the full intermediate flow. Now remember to try your best to keep the movement really controlled and smooth and clean. And try to use as little momentum as possible. So let's go ahead and slowly roll it down. So whatever is in the basic, it's in the breakdown for the basic, so feel free to go back, get a little more detail on the basic exercises. Let's take the legs up towards the ceiling. In Pilates feet, crunch up, and begin. And then exhale for 5 pumps. And now do 10, and we do that 10 times. And that is your 100, which is what we're doing now. For more challenge, you bring the legs down a little bit more, take a nice deep breath in, and deep breath out. So remember, everything stays nice and stable, nothing jerks or shakes. The back is very, very flat. And we inhale deeply through the nose, exhale deeply through the mouth. Inhale, and exhale. Let's just do a few more deep breaths. So the work is in the stabilizing. So in Pilates, we exhale through the mouth. Keep the legs nice and active, 1 more. Release. Right leg down, left leg down, arms reach overhead. Flat back, inhale, exhale, roll up. Big stretch. Inhale down, scoop, roll down. Exhale up. Inhale down. And let's continue like that. Keep your movement smooth and controlled. Hopefully your basic is down pat by now. Let's do 5 more. Remember, the shoulders are relaxed. As little momentum as possible. And really as little work as possible. Try not to tense up too many muscle groups here. One more. Down and hold. Back is flat. Take the right leg up. External rotation. Leg circles. So again, we stabilize the pelvis here. We try not to let all that rocking happen in the hips. So the lower abs work to stabilize the hips. Circle the other way. Make the hip joint the center of your circle. Exhale on the way up. And release. Take the left leg up. Point the toes. External rotation if the leg is straight. And circle. Exhale on the way up. Circle the other way. If you're not sure, you put the hands on the hips. Also, for more challenge, you can take the other leg off the floor and release. Bring the knee into the chest, rolling like a ball. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. So you may need some cushion under your back here. A thicker mat helps. If you have a bony spine, like me. A few more times. So you're trying to make as little noise as possible here. If you're hearing a big thud, you're not scooping and rolling through the lower back. Let's do one more. Down and hold. Single changes. Outside your hand goes to the ankle. Switch. 10, 9, exhale, nice and deep. 4, 3, 2, and double knee stretch. Bring both knees into the chest. Legs go forward, arms go back. Inhale, back is flat. Exhale, back in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Stay lifted and try not to let the head and the spine fold down. And 2 more, and then we start to put the intermediate in and hold. Straight leg, right leg up, hump, hump. Hump, hump, stay lifted the whole time. And breathe. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold on 1. You can place the hands behind the head or under the hips if you need support. Exhale on the way up. Elbows are open. Exhale up. Stay crunched up. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Bend the knees. These are your crisscrosses now. Remember to keep the elbows back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Roll up. Spine stretch forward from basic. Arms are straight out in front of you. So as tall and as straight as possible. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, draw the spine back. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, draw the spine back. Remember not to lean back. Tall and draw up. So go back to basic. And you can get the breakdown on the exercises that were in basic, which is what we didn't go over today. A few more times. And hold. Let's roll down. Open like rocker. Hold on to the ankles. Roll up. Inhale. Exhale. Up. Exhale. Up. Again, another rolling exercise on the spine. Put more cushion on the floor. And again, try to keep the movement as quiet as possible. Avoid the big thud on the way up. Roll. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Up and hold. Release the legs. Nice forward bend. Roll it down. Legs up. Corkscrews. Over to the right. Up and over. Roll down, over to the left. Up. Over to the right. And up, and just keep the breath moving. Exhale as the spine rolls down. Although sometimes you don't want to get too hung up on where you should be breathing, just make sure you're breathing. Sometimes we get too distracted, just keep it moving. One more to the left. Roll down. Come up to a sitting position for the saw. Legs are straight, about mat width apart, arms come out to the side. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale, twist to the right, and stretch. Center, twist, and reach. Center, twist, and reach. Exhale on the forward. Inhale, center, saw. And 4 more. Make sure you keep the hips anchored. 3, 2, and 1. And release. We're going to turn over for the swan. Hands next to the chest, pelvis is scooped. Shoulder blades are down and anchored. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Single leg kicks. Stay tucked. Pump, 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 pump. So the pelvis is scooped, and you're anchoring hips and spine and breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's release. Left ear on the mat. Double leg kicks. Pelvis scoop, legs together. 1, 2, and left. Left ear on the floor. 1, 2, and left. So you're alternating which ear is on the floor. Now switch the palms. Kick, kick, and stretch. Kick, kick, stretch. Kick, kick, stretch. And 1 more. Kick, kick, and lift. And let's go ahead and release. Actually, we can just turn over here for the neck pull. Hands behind the head. Inhale. Exhale. Roll up. Fold over the legs. Sit tall. Hinge. Scoop. Roll down. Exhale. Up. Fold. Roll up. Hinge. Scoop. And down. And continue. Forward. Up. Hinge, tuck, roll, and up, hinge, scoop, roll down, and again, roll up, fold, roll up, hinge, scoop, roll down. A few more times. Roll up, fold, roll up, hinge, scoop, roll down, and again, hinge, scoop. And once more. Up, fold, up, hinge, scoop, roll down. And turn over. Let's sit back. And then lie down on the side. A side kick series. Anchor the pelvis. Top leg up, down. 10. Hold the abs still. Good. Now bottom leg, lift the top leg up. Bottom leg 10. Try to get the knees to touch. Good. Now both legs down. Top, bottom, and release. Top, bottom, release. Top, bottom, release. Continue. Stabilize the hips as best as possible. 3, 2, 1, and now double leg lifts. 10, shoulders, flex the feet. Top leg up, down. Hold the leg up, bottom leg up, down. Then release both legs down. Then top, bottom, release. Top, bottom, release. Top, bottom, release. Hold the hips as best as you can. And the fewer fingers, the more balance, the more the obliques will have to work. If you want to try it without the fingers, you may need to slow down a little bit, but that works as well. Now double leg lift. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll over onto your back. Teaser. Inhale to prepare. Pelvis is tucked. Exhale up. Inhale. We'll just do 5 of these. Exhale, but feel free to do 10 on your own. Let's just do 10. 5 more. And 4. And 1. And hold. Bring the knees into the chest, arms on the inside, fingers wrap around the outside of the ankle. Curl up. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. Down, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3. Down, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3. Down, and up, down, and up. Remember that soft rolling that we're looking for. As little sound as possible. And release. Okay, so that was the classical intermediate level mat Pilates. So hopefully you had fun, hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully it was fairly easy. So we'll get to advanced next time and break down the exercises to the whole flow, and then you'll be able to do that whenever you need to on your own. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, release. Although an instructor always helps because they're able to tell you whether you're actually keeping your form, whether you're really doing it as you think you're doing it. So you can go on ahead and maybe go to your local gym or your local studio occasionally and try to take a class at one of the studios just to kind of check in, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then do it on your own. So again, inhale, exhale. I'll see you next time.